I think when you think you know it all, that's when you're doomed.
Yeah.
Because even if, let's say, in theory, I knew everything about everything and I said, well, I'm done, I know everything. The reality is that in 5 years' time, the industry's completely morphed and things have changed enormously. I mean, if you think where we are now in just coming into 2025 compared to where we were in 2020, compared to where we were in 2015, and then you keep spinning that back. And when you've been doing it since the 90s, like I have, like I can think back to the 90s and like it was just a completely different landscape, you know, like stores were different, like retail was different. There was no online at that time. You know, pets at home were at that time, they were pet smart in this country and they were disorganized. And so the whole, you know, supermarkets were nowhere near as good. The discounters hadn't got hold of pet yet. You know, it was a completely different landscape. And I think even when you think you know it all, like if that's possible, that you know, to think that and not move on, keep learning is a guaranteed like route to failure.
Definitely. I mean, just with life as well. Like, you know, if you think about our phones and stuff, when we had, you know, we're of similar age, aren't we? Like, you know, we grew up without mobile phones and social media. And, you know, when I worked on local papers, if you wanted to get in front of, you know, everyone in Warrington or wherever it is that you lived, you took out an advert or you got some press coverage, whereas now you've got all these different things that you can do and just always moving, aren't we? Like the changes that have happened in our working lifetime have just been insane, haven't they?
Yeah, mad. Mad, definitely. It's like even, things like the internet. Well, I remember when I converted our business over from writing manual invoices to using a computer.
Yeah,
that's how old I am. Yeah. It's sort of like where we used to, everything was done by hand, and then we bought this computer, and it was like a 1 gigabyte hard drive computer, and it was like £1,000 it was for this computer, and it was just like, oh my God, we can actually just print stuff off, and this saves us tons of time, because before that everything was like written on double copies, and like you'd save one side and send the other out and that sort of stuff. And it's incredible how the world's changed.
Definitely. When I used to work on I used to work at the News of the World years ago, like 2004. And we used to have this thing where we didn't have, like, I don't think I had a laptop then because I couldn't afford it, really skin. So we used to do this thing where we'd go out and interview somebody, and then you'd write it in your notepad and then write it up, and then you'd ring up like these people called PA copy takers, and you'd read your copy down the phone to them, and they'd then send it off to the office. Yeah. And like there was no smartphones or anything, we just had like a Nokia 3310 or something like that. It's just mad, isn't it? Like how things have changed. Yeah, no, definitely.
I remember when we got vehicle trackers in actually on our vans, like that revolutionized our business. We got probably extra 30% more work done as a result of vehicle trackers, because we soon realized we had certain drivers who were going off doing private jobs and they should be delivering. And it's just all these things now which you think are just like completely standard, like, you know, trackers on vans. I remember when we first put ours in, people were like, why would you want a tracker on your van, you know?
Yeah, it would be. They were outraged, weren't they?
Yeah, oh man, it was outrageous. Oh, it was outrageous. People, I feel like you're spying on me all the time.
Yeah.
Sort of stuff. And it's like, whereas now it's just like completely accepted and normal, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah. It's when I worked on newspapers, it was before we had like camera phones, but we used to get sent on jobs, and they were like, I don't care it's Saturday night. I don't care it's Saturday night. You've got to be there until 6 o'clock. And obviously, you know, I was in my 20s then. I wanted to go out and have fun and stuff. I didn't want to be in, like, I lived in Warrington. Didn't want to be in Newcastle sitting on a doorstep until 6 o'clock. So you'd go home, wouldn't you? Or slope off. Whereas now they'd be like, no, we want a picture of the door at 6 o'clock with the time and stuff. And you're not going anywhere. And they'll probably be tracked as well. So, yeah, I got out of being a staff reporter just at the right time, I think.